Yes.
Willis, how are you doing tonight? I can see you on my screen. You look lovely as always, wearing that royal purple.
Well, Betty, you know, sometimes when you have to do some good or great work, you have also to look great. Now, the luckiest person in that line is Betty Kialo, or Chalo if you like.
Well, thank you very much. Well, I say Kialo, but you know, Kialo, Chalo, Ntaitika.
You're welcome. Yes. Yes.
All right, so Willis, I want us to start with this name. My guest tonight, is it, do you say Abel or do you say Abel? Shock us.
Oh, A-B-E-L.
Yes.
You say Abel, Abel, just like the word A-B-L-E, Abel, not Abel.
Oh my goodness, I don't even think he knows how to actually pronounce his name because he always calls himself
It
Abel.
happens because, but when it comes to names, names are very tricky because we have what we call the regionally accepted pronunciations because of certain factors of what we call the phonological and orthographical factors. That is, the spelling and sounding systems in different regions. That's why you might have seen a name like Joe's in English is Jose, like Jose Mourinho.
Yes,
so certain factors determine the way names are pronounced. But this name is Abel. Abel, not Abel.
I hope you're watching and listening, and I know you know to pronounce your name. I know my name, Beatrice, is actually Beatrice, right? Before we get to our words.
Beatrice.
Beatrice. Interesting. Okay, so let's begin with our first word, Willis, and let me just spell it out. R-A-T-I-O-N-A-L-I-Z-E. Do we say rationalize? How do we go about that one?
Oh, Betty, that word is pronounced rationalize, rationalize, to rationalize, or rationalize, not re. We don't say re. Just like we have the word national, not national, we also say natural, not natural. So the word of interest is rationalize.
Rationalize. Got it, Willis. Got it. Okay, moving on to this other one. I think we really misspell it. So, mispronounce it rather. So this is B-U-N-G-A-L-O-W. Willis, do you say bungalow? I live in a bungalow or a bungalow?
Betty, the U in that word takes the mid-central sound, So you say bungalow. In English, you pronounce that word as bungalow, just like you say buffalo, not buffalo.
Okay. Yeah, buffalo soldier. Okay, I think also people sing the wrong thing also with that. Moving on, Willis, to this other one. Yeah, so it's buffalo and not buffalo. All right, Willis, moving to this other one. A-M-O-N-G-S-T. Amongst. How do we go about that one, Willis?
Oh, Betty, the most hilarious pronunciation that I sometimes hear locally is amongst. Amongst, that just tickles me. But you know, as I always say, we innocently mispronounce many words because we lack proper guidance. If we could be guided properly, and especially if we can have some emphasis on pronunciation in the education systems in many countries in the world, then people can be guided at the right time. So sometimes we check the spelling, we find ourselves not having any guidance, then we end up with amongst instead of amongst. Amongst, not amongst.
Amongst. Okay, Willis, I hear you loud and clear. Willis, moving on now to the words that you've had. I know there's a lot of interaction on X. Talk to us about the words you have for us.
Yes, I have seen people who are already sending in, like Bethwell Mwaura in London, that is in the UK, but a Kenyan who really loves English and loves this show, Betty.
Thank you.
Bethwell Mwaura in London, you say abattoir, abattoir. Then the second word, abate, to abate, any sign or signs of abating, abate. Then your third word, to abet, abet, then abetted. Then the last word is very tricky. Bethwell Mwaura, you say albeit, albeit. Many people end up saying albeit or albeit. No, you say albeit. Then at Foodie 863-13083, metabolism. Then the next word, cash, not weapons cache. Betty, cache, very common but wrong. You say cash, just like money. Cash. Then parcel, not parcel. You say parcel, but you can also say parcel with a weak sound eh. Now, Victor Mandela, you say simile and similes. Then Jersey. Then you have two names. You say Dwight and Stewart. Then we have Natasha Ali of Kisii. When we talk about a bank robbery, you say heist. Heist, not haste. Then the past tense of run. R-U-N, run. But R-A-N, run. Run, run. I hope people can get that difference. What we should avoid is saying rain, just like Betty brought the word thank, which we commonly say thank, which sounds unique.
Okay.
The Macklin Kambi of Mombasa, you say executive, and you can also say executive, but not executive. Executive, no. Then consecutive or consecutive, but not consecutive. Common, but wrong. We have Jeffrey Midash of Kisumu. You say renaissance, renaissance in English. Thomas Njoroge of Udhiru, Nairobi, you say mentor, my mentor. Many people innocently say my mentor. Betty, have you heard that? Mentor.
Absolutely, Willis. You're my mentor.
Mentor. Mentor. The correct way to pronounce that word is mentor. Then mentor. Christian Wanyonyi. Christian Wanyonyi of Kakamega, thank you so much for loving the show. Just like Christine Mama Mora and Fanny's Mama Austin. Keep it up because Betty is on air and now we are on Which is Which. Then we have Stephen Kinywa, Ljubljana, Ljubljana, or you can say Ljubljana. Ljubljana or Ljubljana, that is in Slovenia. Then we have Anita Njeri, you say premise, not premise. On the premise, not on the premise. Then the last one you say Jano, Jano, not Jono. Then we have one, Betty, which I know will really tickle you. You may hear people talking about the chassis number of a vehicle. We don't have anything called chassis in English. In fact, we have just shared with Kombo Alfayo that one before the show, and he also got really amused because the right spelling is C-H-A-S-S-I-S. And you say chassis. Chassis, not chassis that we commonly hear around us. Otherwise, Betty, I think we can now take a look at our word for testing the tongues. Our viewers, what are you saying at home? How do you say it? I know many people have innocently said humongous. Humongous, no. You say humongous. Humongous. This word means very big or enormous. Very big or enormous. So you talk of humongous, not humongous. Then, Betty, we have our surprise word for tonight. And it's a common one, but tricky. Do you hear of adjourn? To adjourn. Common, but wrong, Betty. You say adjourn. To adjourn. The session or the court sitting or session was adjourned, not adjourned. Otherwise, for those who really want to ask questions and you want to send them to Willis, Betty, or to TV47. For Willis, it's right here at Willis Ochieng1 on X, at Willis Ochieng1. Then you can also send your question throughout the week, any day that you choose. But Friday night, ensure that you watch this Friday with Betty only on TV47 and you'll get the answer. So that is at Betty M. Kialo and at TV47 News. Otherwise, it's great when things end well. Now I have to take you back to Betty Kialo in Nairobi.
Thank you very much, Willis Ochieng, there joining us from Kisii County. Like he mentioned, of course, if you want to talk to him about those difficult pronunciations, you can, of course, reach him on X. Thank you very much, Willis. Always a pleasure having you on the show. All right, so like I promised, we have Abel Mutua.